This is recall worksheet 1.2. So this one here, we're solving linear equations, which means we're looking at something that is going to contain the following. Some sort of like thing that's going to follow this pattern. Okay? But we'll get to that when we get there. All right, so there it is. All right, so we're going to do the first question here, and we're going to do the one with the fraction, okay? And then we're going to look at what they're doing here, this checking by substitution business, okay? Is that too far? That's probably too far. So is that okay? Thank you, Gab. That's better? Thank you. Apologies. All right, so we're going to look at this one here. It's an equation, okay? It's got an equal sign, and the question is telling me, solve the following equations for x. Okay, solve the following equations for x. That's unhelpful because there's no x's there. Well done, Pearson textbook. Okay, that's not helpful because none of those are x. What it really means to say is solve for the unknown, which in this case is the t, right? The t. So we're trying to solve for the t. That should have not happened. Well, that's one of my biggest frustrations with textbooks is because they make a mistake and they sort of don't fix it. And then when you're trying to figure out maths and then that's all wrong, then you think you're wrong. Anyway, all right, so we want to solve for t. Okay. We want to find out what it is. Okay. So we've got t divided by 5 plus 12 equals 3. T, that's a t.
But why is the x there?
Oh, that's t. T. Okay, t. All right, so when we want to solve for a value, what we need is at the end of everything that we do, we need to get t is equal something. That's how you solve it. You're solving it by showing what it is worth. So right now, what we know is t divided by 5 plus 12 equals 3. So what our job every single time is to get t by itself. Oh man, this is trippy. Okay. Get t by itself. Okay, right now, what's happening to t? It's being divided by 5. It's adding 12. The things that you want to change, the order that you choose to do them is very important because if you do it a particular way, it's going to be less work for you. If you do it another way, it's going to be more complex. So the rule is simple. The first thing you do is you want to get rid of everything that's around the t. So around, I mean like other terms. In this case, the plus 12. I want to get rid of that. The thing that you need to understand about equations is that everything on the left-hand side, which we abbreviate as LHS, all of this is equal to the right-hand side. You must understand that, okay? Everything here is equal to that. So t over 5 plus 12, that equals 3. So when we make changes to an equation, the change must be done exactly the same on both sides of the equation. So here, I want to get rid of the 12, which means that I need to subtract 12. All right, I need to subtract 12 on the left-hand side, but that means I must do that on the right-hand side as well. Or else, I've changed everything. The equation is no longer equal. I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. On the left-hand side, if I say 12 minus 12, that equals 0. So I can just write t over 5, or I could have written t over 5 plus 0, which is pointless. That's why we don't do it. 3 minus 12. Now, Who's got one of those plastic things?
The sheet.
The sheet, the plastic sheet. Oh, that's okay. It's got one. Thank you. Alright, so if going into the negative is confusing, this is what the number line is for. Okay? This is what the number line thing is for. I'll use a permanent marker. We're starting at 3. We're starting at 3. And we're subtracting 12, which means we're going backwards 12 steps. So you start here at 3, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, minus 9. The other way you can do that is, well, I'm subtracting 12. I'm subtracting 12 from 3. 3 to 0 is 3. Right? 3 to 0 is 3, which means I have 9 left to subtract from 0, and you go, well, that's minus 9. Does that make sense? I go down 3 to 0. I just go down to 0, and then I just do the rest in one step. So if you do it like that, so if I go 3 minus 12, instead of going, how do I do that? You just go, well, from 3 to 0 is subtracting 3. I'm going to subtract another 9, and subtracting 9 from 0 is really simple. Just go from 0 to minus 9. Okay, so I've got minus 9 now, but I still don't have what t is equal to. What I've got is what t divided by 5 is equal to, right? So this is t divided by 5. In other words, I know what a fifth of t is. I know what a fifth of t is. I know what a fifth is if I cut it in 5 equal parts. So if I know what a fifth is and I want to know a whole, then I just need to do the opposite of what a fifth is of a whole. I'm going to multiply it by 5, because 5/5 is a whole. Okay? So on both sides, because it's an equation, I'm going to multiply it by 5 on both sides. And that's going to give me t, okay, because I multiply it by the denominator of the fraction. Okay, I'm going to get t, and then over here, I need to do minus 9 times 5. So just to remind you, if they're opposite signs, okay, so this is for multiply or divide. If they're opposite signs, then you will get negative. If they are the same signs, you will get positive. Okay, just to remind you, there you go. If you're multiplying or dividing, if you have opposite signs like we have here, your answer will be negative. So 9 times 5, that's 45. They're opposite signs, it's negative 45. And there you've solved it, because solving just means find out what that is by itself.